Hey everybody, today I am in my own backyard and I have some garden projects that I need to do, but this is going to be very real life because not only is it raining out, I'm only here for the weekend because during the season I spend the weekdays at my parents and then I sneak home for the weekends. So I only have a couple days, so I'm going to only be using whatever I have available. And we had a new roof and a new driveway put in this spring, so we have not done any cleanup. So I'm showing you my yard exactly how it is, so please don't mind any mess. The grass needs to be cut, all that good stuff, probably like many of your yards, although some of you I bet have pristine yards and I envy you, but I'll get there eventually. So let me show you what the project I'm working on right now is. So if we head down the deck here, if we look over the ledge, there are some 9-bark that were planted, and these were specifically planted so that they would hide what's underneath this deck. There's, 60 years of all kinds of garbage back there. And the thinking was that these dark 9-bark are kind of blend in, they'll be background. But in reality, they're just not very showy. And I think I want to put something a little brighter in there because I think having something that people see is going to block what's behind there much better than these 9-bark. Now, eventually these 9-bark are going to get bigger and bigger. Did kind of the same thing over here. So I want to take these 9-bark out. I also want to take out this fence, and I'll have to move this rhubarb out of here. And then along here, I want to plant some stuff. I've been fighting though, there are some box elders that had rooted in here. And so box elder is just a nasty tree. It's a very fast growing tree. It gets very large, but it's not very strong. So I need to get those out the best I can and then figure out what I'm going to do with there. And then I'm going to do a little hydrangea planting out here. So we'll see how that goes. So I don't know how much I'm going to get recorded because of the rain, but hey, I'll take you along for the ride and I'll definitely be showing you what I get done. So I've gotten pretty much as far as I can get today between the rain and the mud and everything else. This has been quite a project. I have to say the box elders are awful. The fence post was a bit of an ordeal, but I got through that and I still have more to go. So I'm going to show you what I'm doing. I just want to remind you all though that I consider myself more of a gardener rather than like a landscape designer or a landscaper. So I like to put in things that I want to look at and things that I love, and that's how I just make my decisions. So my technique or my kind of style, well, that just is kind of, it falls into place. My plan is to kind of fill this in with more stuff later. So let me show you exactly what I put in and what it looks like right now. So here's an overview of the project as it stands today. I've got the 5 hydrangeas in, and I do need to get more mulch for that area. I'm probably going to thicken up the mulch as well. There's spots where I can see the cardboard, but I wanted to spread it out so at least it looked good right now. And then I still have room for 2 more hydrangeas up at the top, and I just didn't want to bring that many down until I knew exactly what I was doing. So I want to get these in place and then see. And I had to be pretty careful in this area because there's a pretty serious drip line right along here coming off the eaves of the roof, so I can't let any of that land on those hydrangeas. Both the moisture and snowfall could damage them, and they are going to kind of fill in over that area, so I could have some branch damage on the back. I'm not too worried about that, but it's something I had to consider. And then over time I want to fill this in maybe with some other plants, but these hydrangeas are going to get pretty large, over time, so I'm going to have to, I'm probably going to have things in temporarily and then go from there. So let me introduce you to these plants. This is such a handsome hydrangea. This is the early evolution, and it's one of the earliest to bloom. In fact, it's definitely been the earliest for us, and it's one of the smallest. It's only 2 feet tall by 2 feet wide. That's kind of where it maxes out, and it has that beautiful lace cap flower. I really like this one. It doesn't blush to a really bright color of pink, but I mean, that flower coverage is just incredible. The size is really nice as well. So if you need a small one, that's such a nice one. Now, this one over here, this is the new Limelight Prime. And so this is kind of the upgrade of the Limelight hydrangea that's been around for a long time. And once you go Limelight Prime, you don't go back to Limelight, because Limelight Prime, not only does it bloom way earlier, because the Limelight is one of the last hydrangeas to bloom, it also turns better color. So it gets much more pink than the original Limelight. But you still get beautiful red stems on it, nice leaves on it, and I think the habit is slightly different. It might be more compact, but I don't think it's any smaller. It tends to get pretty big. And then over here, this one is the new Pinky Winky Prime, and I'm very excited about this one because I love the Pinky Winky. It gets these amazing flower panicles that are just absolutely huge, and what I like about the panicles is that they keep growing. So they'll open and they're white, and then they keep growing, but the panicles at the bottom, or the flowers at the bottom, start turning this brilliant hot pink color, and it's just a beautiful hydrangea, one of my favorites, and it's a big plant as is. Pinky Winky Prime gets even bigger than the original Pinky Winky. So I wanted to use it in this spot here. Let me zoom out a little bit, because I really want to cover as much as I can. I want people to be seeing those hydrangeas, not all of our kind of trash and garbage under there. And even if it gets to its true 9 feet, which I don't think it'll get all the way to its maximum size, or if it does, it will be many, many years, it's going to, it's still not going to get where it's blocking any of the view of the deck. And then the other one I have over here, this is the Bobo. And Bobo stays pretty small. I have heard people saying there's got like 5 feet, but usually for us, it usually stays around 3 feet, and it blooms really early. So you can see it's already got its flower buds coming. So not quite as early evolution, but right behind it. And then this one over here is another favorite. This is Quickfire Fab. And the original Quickfire is a lace cap. This one is a beautiful kind of standard panicle with a really interesting flower, kind of more of a cross-shaped flower. And it blooms really early, gets huge flowers, and the color is absolutely fantastic. So I've got some of my favorites in here, and I did go over to one of the nurseries nearby to decide what I was going to put in these spots over here, and I'm too spoiled for choice over at my mom and dad's place. I'm going to get the ones that I want. I think I'd like to do a Love-A-Lot pink, and then, I don't know, I'll have to kind of really decide what the other one is going to be. Maybe a berry white could be a nice one to put in there. I'm not sure. So anyway, want to show you guys what I was working on, how far I got, and exactly what it looks like today. I think it's going to work out pretty nice. Now I have a lot of debris to get rid of.